Greetings, Diesel Funketeers. Tim Fielder here again. It is now September the 1st, approximately, let's see, it'll be 9 o'clock in about 2 minutes, 10, 11, 12. 3 hours, I turn 59 years old. Yes, I am now moving into the geriatric realm. Well, at least about 5 years from now, 64, 65, I assume you're geriatric. But I am now solidly in middle-age life. It's been quite a run, and I'm going to try my best. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try my best to go to midnight tonight and to celebrate and bring my birthday in. Tomorrow will be my birthday, and guess what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to work. I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to get some work done, right? Because life is short. And again, I am so grateful to be here with you guys tonight on the Diesel Funk Dispatch. My name is Tim Fielder. I'm a visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist. I'm known for this book here, Infinitum and Afrofuturist Tale. I am known for this book here, Maddie's Rocket. This is book 1, presently working on book 2 and 3. And I'm working on this book here, The Graphic History of Hip Hop, Volume 1, presently working on Volume 2, and after that, Volume 3. So it has been a good ride. I did my 5 miles today. I released a Diesel Funk Dispatch short. I do 3 different formats. I do a 5 days weekly streaming show, which has only recently been 4 days weekly, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because Tuesday, hey man, Alien Earth is on, and thus far, I don't think they're going to be able to hold the quality. I'd be shocked, but right now, the show has been absolute fire. I haven't felt this excited about the Alien franchise since Aliens. Really, truly, wow, they knocked it out of the park. So it is really, really good. I'm very, very pleased to be seeing it. Happy Labor Day to everybody. I know the kids go back to school tomorrow up north. Down south, they've probably been in school already for about a month. So this is why they get out earlier during the year. We have a lot of things going on. I'm going to be doing my thing. I'm going to stream a little music. The Jerry Goldsmith, well, not Jerry Goldsmith, it's the end song to Alien, which I love. So melancholy and so beautiful. I'm going to be doing a little bit of drawing today. I've gotten a lot of stuff done, but I need to get more stuff done. I got people waiting on me to turn stuff in, and everybody wants their stuff yesterday, so we will see how we can work it out. In the meantime, let us get ready here. To work. Get some work done. Maybe I'll do a little bit of the breakdowns, right? Also going to see what happens. I intend to do an experiment today working with ChatGPT. Now, a lot of people don't know, one of the projects I've been working on for the last several years now is a documentary on my career called Black Metropolis, kind of based on the one-man show that happened. I think it first was at NYU Gallatin Galleries, where my friend Keith Miller put it up. And that was a really important moment because it was at that time I realized, oh my God, all this work I've done over the years, all focused on Afrofuturism, is part of history, and that archival stuff was very important to be able to show. So I think that is important to show you guys. Also, I'm going to use ChatGPT 5. I don't have the commercial version. I have the free version. And I'm going to want to experiment today and see, because, I have two people who've offered to do the breakdowns on the book variant of Black Metropolis. And I guess I can show you guys here. Let me see if I can go here. Let me see if I can go here to the desktop. I got the desktop here. Live drawing with Tim Fielder, 9125. Let's see here. Let's go to Bridge, Adobe Bridge. See, right now, would say with the start of this probably is either week 7 or the beginning of week 8. Now I started streaming before New York Comic Con, before San Diego Comic Con, like mid-July. So I might be getting, maybe in another week or so, I should be 2 months in. And it has been a pretty life-changing and life-affirming project. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go to, you guys should see a little bit of this. We're going to go to Black Metropolis folder here. Now, a lot of people probably don't remember because it was up so little. It was up at New York Gallatin Galleries back in 2016. Then it reappeared or was remounted at Hammond's House. A gallery took over the entire museum for, I guess, about a month or so in late 2018. Which was a pretty cool thing. And then it was up in upstate New York at Hurleyville Gallery. It was at Hammond's House in 2018. And then, of course, 29 hit. And then pandemic hit. And then I revived it for the Carnegie Hall Afrofuturism Festival in 2022. It was up for several months at Children's Arts Carnival. Kind of brought that museum, because that museum had been dormant, and it kind of brought it back. So now they, are I guess been doing shows pretty consistently since then. In fact, a lot of the concept design for how, because I had to pay to get the gallery space straight, so I was doing mock-ups on what I wanted the gallery to look like. So you can see it there, a lot of the designs, and ultimately the show went up. It was very successful, and I'm so proud of how it ended up looking. If you all hear some screaming outside, it's because the little kiddies are getting their last little play on there. All right, so anyway, Black Metropolis, my career, this thing covers my career. I don't know if you guys can see it. It covers everything from my childhood, doing art, over the years. I was a huge Star Wars head. This is, God, I don't know how old I was when I did that drawing. Maybe 9, 8, 9, maybe. I drew comics so long ago, but I was a huge, this was 7th grade. Was it 7th grade or 6th grade or something? I used to get in trouble with the teachers drawing too much Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica. So yeah, I was a super duper Star Wars head. But eventually, as I went to New York, I began to change and alter my work. Got heavy into the Black Rock movement. So here you can see here, this is Fishbone, because I was heavy into Angelo and those dudes and stuff. And a lot of these guys who were involved with those bands like Living Color and all that, they have no idea that I did drawings of them that I was trying to connect with. So a lot of work that I've done over the decades, and all of it has been captured with high resolution cameras. And ultimately this work will be shown, all the work over my career. God, so much stuff from Dr. Dre, that book that was never published. So much stuff. This is an earlier form from Maddie's Rocket back in the late 90s, back before I went digital. Cover for Death Comes in Force. A lot of stuff I did back in the early 90s. I was trying to make my way into the comic book industry. Even though this is sideways, this is all Dr. Dre stuff here. Man with a Cold, Cold Heart. And so this book, as well as the documentary, will both cover my career over the last 40 years now, I guess now, 40 years, because I started professionally back in '87, but I was going as an Afrofuturist since the age of 13 or 14, somewhere off in there. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So all of these images here will be used in, you can see here with that image there, is where we had to take high resolution photos, and some of these photos have to be treated, things like that. Like this right here is from Black Metropolis. God, 1990, I guess. Marker, didn't have to use gouache at that time. Marker, color pencil, and whiteout. So we used to call it whiteout, right? So that's what that was. So these are the type of things that I did for many, many years. I was a heavy metal kid. That was what I wanted to do. In fact, before I got out of the comic book industry back in the 90s, 99, 2000 was the last time I worked before coming back into the game in 2013, 2014, right off from there. Last professional job I did was with Richard Corbin. Yes. I did breakdowns for the late Richard Corbin, and he changed everything. I did these breakdowns because Arthur Sudam was over this book called Forbidden Zone. And people were like, man, Richard changed your breakdowns. I was like, dude, it's Richard Corbin. The author, illustrator of Dune, he could do whatever he wants. I was just happy that he saw them. And I had an exchange with him. And I wish I had those emails because I would surely show them in the documentary where I was like, yeah, I just want you to know how much I respect your work. Dan, it's such a powerful work, and I thank you for your influence on me. Hello, Photo Mitch, and hi, Creator, how you doing? And Melanie Maria Goudreau, I know you. But yeah, so I was talking with Richard, and I said, look, I know I was born too young because I was born in '66, and heavy metal started, at least in stateside. Was it '77? Even though the Metal Hurlant started a few years before, the French version, the original, did it. The heavy metal was the translated variant for America, and it's pretty interesting because it's like I did that work, and I said I would have loved to have worked on heavy metal. And Richard told me, he said, you would have fit right in. I was like, But, that's what happens. It's such an interesting thing. Anyway, so I've been doing breakdowns for a lot of my pages. In fact, the manuscript here, I guess I'll show you guys a few pages. I've been collecting photos and things like that. I'll give you a quick preview here. So part of what I'm doing here, so these are breakdowns for the cover. And it'll be good for you guys to see that. This is a double page spread. So it's the front cover, the back cover. And so that's the way Black Metropolis, the book, will look. So I'm styling it like this. The front cover to the right, back cover on the back. And then that's the inside, front and back. That's the inside, front and back. And this is, the kind of presentation page there. In fact, this is one of the first digital illustrations I ever did way back in '97, I think. I was using Fractal Painter. I think Meta Creations had swapped over, but it was Fractal Painter at the time. And this is one of the first digital illustrations I ever did of the comic variant of what I call Black Metropolis. It wasn't the first. The first version I did was back in the '80s. But this is where I resurrected it, and it was actually printed in Rap Pages magazine. It's so weird. I don't consider myself a hip-hop person at all. But my career has absolutely intersected with hip-hop culture over the years. Hello, Indie Mama. How you doing? Let's see here. So we got here, just checking out the LinkedIn. We got that. And I know you guys are on your holiday, but if anyone wants to chat, just know that I'm here, ready and prepared to chat if I have to. It's all good. So we're going strong on Diesel Funk Dispatch. We're going strong on Diesel Funk. Facebook appears to be going okay. Let's check and see. Check and see, baby. Check and see, baby. Oh, what is going on there? Let's go here. Yeah. Yes. Okay, good. So we got that. Okay, we're going good on Kick. Started up Kick on Friday. So Kick is going in, looks like we have one viewer. Hello, viewer. How you doing over there on Kick? Such a pleasure to see you. My name is Tim Field. I'm a visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist, and just doing my thing, showing people what I do and how I do it. Okay, so next up, I think what we're going to do is get back and start getting to a little drawing here. So let's see here. I think my audio is good. Now, let me qualify that. My audio sucks, but I've arrived at something I can live with, which is kind of me talking with a little reverb on it. It reminds me of the newscaster back in Clarksdale, Mississippi, where I grew up. And the newscaster would say, hello, this is Buddy Mabry of was it WJBI? And he would pull out quotes and he would say, this is a love note to Melanie from 10. From Arthur to Rowena. From Mark to I can't read my writing, to Mark and somebody. That's what he would do. So I'd sometimes try to imitate Buddy Mabry, who was the DJ from Hello, That Television Show. How you doing? Pleasure to see you. And it was Indie Mama, That Television Show. Thank you so much for at least clicking on the button for the short second here. All right, now let's get out of this. Now let's just try to do our little experiment here with ChatGPT. We're going to see if this works. So we're going to go to ChatGPT. And I think what I will do is while that's going on, let's see if this thing can actually handle music. Oh, I love that. Let me drop the volume down on that. I love this stuff so much. That music is so good. I'll drop it down really short there. Okay, let's go to ChatGPT. That's clean. Here's ChatGPT. And it says, so I have the font, and what I did was I laid it out to where I had copy from the left and copy to the right. And the intent was to set it up so that it would maybe try to do some images. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to specify what image goes to the left and right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop this image in as the image. So we're going to say here, this image should be used across, should bleed across both left and right sides. All right, now we're gonna add image, add photos and files. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see if we can drag and drop it here. I think I'm gonna stop that music. I love the music, but let's not go crazy with it tonight. Let's not go crazy with it. There we go. Veronica Cartwright, brilliant actress. All right, so we're here. Now let's see if we can drag and drop. If not, is what's going to happen. It's going to screw it up. But we're going to go here. We're going to drag. And drop that right there. Boom. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we got that. Bam. Okay. All right, do you want me to create a layered? And all right, it's analyzing. And we're gonna see what it pulls open here. And we're gonna see use this image as style influence. And what I want to do is see, here's what happens. You've reached your data analysis limit. I have to try again tomorrow. So yeah, that's the type of thing. But let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens if we download this file here. What happens if we take a look at this file and see what ChatGPT 5 has done or can do? All right, we're gonna go date edit. Okay, so right now, we're gonna see if we see something that says today. Nothing just yet. Scrolling. I gotta delete a lot of the stuff from this folder. This is downloads folder. So much stuff that I've been saving over the months. And you download stuff. You'll say, okay, nope. Close, baby. Close. Wait. Here it is. Now let's see what happens. So we're gonna open that. Wow. But see, that's the problem. It should have put the content, the text in there as well. Okay, but at least we know it's trying. So I'm gonna upgrade to ChatGPT 5 sometime this week. But this is good. The key is I'm trying to see if ChatGPT will be able to, like, these are earlier versions here. So we see what it had, left holder, placeholder, right placeholder. Then we had our content section here that had all of them, but things are supposed to be spread on the left and the right side. And here is where we can, we're gonna see how we make that work. We're gonna see how they make that work. But this is good. We know we're on our way here. Let me just let me refresh this a little bit. Refresh this a little bit here, baby. Okay, good. Streaming looks strong on both YouTube channels. Hey there. Hello there, Kenitra Brooks. My, let me get the title right. Sicoriax? I forget the title. Tell me the title, girl. It's my homegirl. Kenitra Brooks, I love her so much. Homegirl. Really a person who's kind of pushed me to focus, because the one thing Kenitra does, Kenitra teaches in Michigan, University of Michigan State, one or the other. I think it's University of Michigan. One of the primary, has one of the largest collections of comics, but Kenitra, who's a professor, searching for Sicoriax. Yes, it is. I'm getting the title wrong. Hey girl, I'm dyslexic. Anyway, so Kenitra, like Susanna Morris actually, who just wrote the Octavia Butler book, Julian Chambliss. These folks, it's just, Afrofuturism is such an interesting thing because what it does, Black Panther, Sinners, Bitterroot, Black Panther, all these things, hell, Infinitum, all are huge chunks of what Afrofuturism is. Octavia Butler, Chip Delaney, Stephen Barnes. But there's this black horror contingent. Michigan State, sorry, I didn't mean to say University of Michigan, forgive me. And what it does is that black horror component is the speculative component that all can be part of Afrofuturism, or vice versa. You got black horror, you got black sci-fi, so all these things are all about speculation, speculative theory, speculative fiction. I suppose there's a part of speculative nonfiction. That's an interesting thing. So I am grateful to Kenitra because these people, I remember when I was workshopping Infinitum, people were like, what do you mean workshopping Infinitum? meaning literally before I finished the book. Actually, before I got the book deal. She's teaching a black horror class. See, that's the other thing. Her and John did it. I don't know what I can't pay somebody to intentionally scare me, man. What is that? Who watches horror films on purpose? I mean, obviously a lot of people, you know. I'm going to tell you something, though. I'm going to send out some news to Kenitra. Have you seen 40 Acres with Danielle Deadwyler? I saw it when I was in LA. I was out there. My parents were out there with my brothers, and I stayed with them for a few. This is when I was going to San Diego Comic-Con this summer. And for the audience, 40 Acres is an Afrofuturist film. You, particularly, I know, I'm telling you, Kenitra, I am telling you, because it's probably online now. That film it has a horror component because it's post-apocalyptic. I don't want to go into the story because I don't want to ruin it for you. But everything that you feel that's wrong with black horror, this film gets it right. It's got everything, fantastic performances. Danielle Deadwyler is, you know how they have, you know, you have Angela Bassett, you know, she's like the one, and then you got Viola coming on underneath that. You know, these are like prime level A actors, you know, of actresses, you don't know how to work with the terminology. But then you got people who are following up behind them. And I think Danielle Deadwyler is the one. That film, 40 Acres, just, man, it's like, I'll just say this one thing without ruining the story. It's like, up till I saw 40 Acres, it's like the greatest family movie ever made that you would never want your family to go see. It's a film called History of Violence by David Cronenberg. It's brilliant, right? Based on a graphic novel, crime novel, a graphic novel. And it was made into a movie starring Viggo Mortensen, Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. And, you know, him and David Cronenberg have a quasi-collaboration they've done over the years. But anyway, without getting off track, 40 Acres is like that good. It's really brilliant film. So anyway, enough of me hyping on that. All right, so I'm doing my, I'm gonna continue to work with ChatGPT 5 and see if it can help me to lay out or give me a good starting point. Because the thing is, frankly, the issue is right now with the period we're in a period now where we have to do more with less. This is where I'm talking about when it comes to AI and things of that nature. You know, I utilize AI in my work. I know some people frown on that. I understand why they would frown on that. But really what it is I utilize AI to augment my already existing skill set. So I still have to draw, I still have to paint, but there are things that that AI can do that it's like traditionally what I would have to do is hire a printer. Not a printer, a flatter. And what is a flatter? A flatter is a person who takes a drawing, you know, and they make selections around parts, masking off the drawings so that it can be drop filled with color with the paint bucket too. And there are people who make their living from this. This thing basically takes a drawing. I'll go here to my desktop. So this is VizCom here. So this is how I'm using VizCom. People are like, well, you know, why would you use VizCom? How do you do it? You just do it yourself. So literally, this is the drawing that I'm doing for Jason Reeves 133 Art, the One Nation character. He has a Kickstarter going on right here, which has been funded, 100% funded, but right now, the last time I checked, he is at $11,192,000, of a $5,000 goal. So he is actually already backed, but I promised him I was going to do an image, and he has 62 hours to go. So in between tonight and tomorrow, I intend to finish the illustration. So this is a character here that he's been doing. Anyway, so VizCom is fascinating because VizCom allowed me, this is my drawing. I then did my flats. See the flats? This was done in Photoshop, but I imported these two things into this file at the same time. But then when I did it, it generated a written prompt based on my images that I put in there, which were essentially my first prompt. So the first prompt I use when I use AI is always, without fail, my own drawings. Because I'm not trying to create something based on somebody else's drawings. I'm trying to create something based on my drawings, right? So I wanted a color scheme that would fall from here. It gave me, see how that, now it's really off, but you know, pretty good bones. Look at that. Like it's falling on, let's zoom in here a little bit. Let's see if we can zoom in here. Can we zoom in? Should be able to zoom in. Yeah, there we go. Hold down that space bar. There it is. Now look here, I'm gonna turn this off and on. You'll be able to see what's happening. See how it's following the line artwork? That's what you want. That's what flatting does. But in this particular case, what it's doing is not applying flat colors. What it's doing is applying rendered volume to the drawing. But it's fine. Look at the pants. See the cargo pants he's wearing, the military pants. Watch it. Look at the drawing. See how it's doing? See how it's following the lines? Because he's using the technology, at least from my understanding, what I was told by my friend Vladimir Palacio, who's a programmer, is using a technology called edge detection. So it is following the contours of my line artwork. Let's look here. Let's zoom in again. Let's zoom in here on the arm. See that arm? Watch this. See how it's following the strokes in the arm? And it is interpolating what those strokes are. In this particular case, it's saying the strokes, look at the wrist here. It's saying the strokes are wrinkles. See what's happening? Isn't that incredible? Now, the face, it definitely took some liberties with the face, but that's then where you would imply reference on yourself. And that's a pretty good face. See, that character there looks really intense. Now, watch this. See, there's something about it. It's very abstract the way it looks. I mean, sometimes it's off, but look at those. Look at that boot. Look at that boot. Look at that. That's incredible. And it's all following my drawing. See how it's following the drawing? That's incredible. And so that is where the power of what, so AI is like using an advanced for traditional artists. Let me be very, very clear. AI for traditional artists is like using an advanced flatter that is not just laying in flat color, but it's also laying in shadows and lights. And I have to make sure, see look, high angle view, explosive light comes from the left rear, right to the left here, right? Photoreal cinematic. I never use another artist's name in this. Now again, I'm well aware that there will come a time where I will get in trouble with this. I'm sure that's going to happen because anything that deploys disruption and change in any industry is always frowned upon. I get it, know it, been there, done that. I get it. I understand why there's such apprehension with this. But it has, somebody's got to do this stuff. You know, hello, Boris. Good to see you. Good to see you again. I did speak with your dude from Tanzania, hoping that we can work something out. I would love to workshop with the kids there. And this is what I do. I do it every night anyway. So might as well do it for you guys in Tanzania. In fact, I don't know what the time zone of Tanzania would be, but in certain ways it would be cool to do it when I'm on live. But you know, I can always make exceptions and come on live as well. Okay, let's see here. Let's check in is good. Instagram is good. YouTube is fantastic tonight. Thank you so much, Boris. Thank you so much, Kenitra. We're going to go here to Facebook seems to be rocking. I'm gonna switch back over to the Diesel Funk Facebook page here and see if we have any people talking over there. Okay, we're good. And there are times when I get, what is it? There are times when I get notices that people are commenting, but I don't see them till later. So I'm gonna leave this right here. All right, kick is going well. All right, that's good. Okay, and Facebook seems to be going well as well. All right, see, is there anything else I got going here? Oh, again, folks, I have to apologize so much about TikTok. Hopefully Mel Studio will get it together with that very soon. All right, enough of that. Now, let's go here to drawing. Let's go here to drawing. So here we're gonna go back to, and by the way, is my volume good today? I think my volume's good. Let me know if it's not, and I will turn it up for you guys. But in the meantime, there is an 8-hour difference. Okay, so that means if what, like, so for example, if it is now 9:33 here at night, what time is it in Tanzania? Would it be? I mean, I could do a search on Google and not put you on the spot like that. But volume is good. Okay, good. And what time? So it's 8 hours. Is 8 hours ahead or 8 hours in front? So that's the question I have. So if it's eight, either way, it'll be able to work. So if I say do it at this time, that it might be something where I'll be doing it in the morning for the kids there, or if I'm doing this time, it might be something that I'll be doing it in the morning either way. So it's about 5 a.m. there. Great. So if I'm doing this in the morning for the kids, and say I go at midnight here, or even 1 or 2 in the morning, that's pretty good. So, or even a little bit later in the day, that might be. So if I do it early in the morning here, then it's going towards the end of their school day there. But we can work that out. Looking forward to working with the kids. If you guys are having me, I don't want to make that something about, man, that dude's crazy, man. I don't want to be working with him. But yeah, so there we go. So let me know, keep me in the loop, and I will be talking with your friend as well. So we are good. We are great and golden. All right, now back here to Clip Studio Paint. So here's what I've been doing here. So this is the background. And of course, this was AI output from the background, right? Because what I originally put in there was this. I had my rough drawing. I did my paint over on the drawing, see? And then from there, I had, just to go a quick review, I put in a tank. I had actually downloaded I didn't download. What I did was did a screen capture of Tufanye. Yes, okay, so that means amen or great. I love doing this. Yeah, I love doing this. I love streaming, guys. I never thought it would have caught on like this, but it is so much fun to be doing this, and this is awesome. Okay, so here we have a tank. All right, here we have a vehicle that I had split in half. Right, I actually took 3D models, made adjustments to them, and all this stuff has been recorded. So eventually I will play it back. Turn these off here. And these are the renders that I had. Now that's pretty good there, but a little bit too much. That one's pretty good. This is the one I went with initially. I also had that one there, but this is the one I really went with. So what I'm doing now is painting this stuff. And you can see here to the left, see that right there looks a little bit more painted. It's because I'm going through with a fingertip tool. And that fingertip tool has allowed me to embed what I call organic phenomena into my drawings. Right? When you're dealing with things like explosions, what you're looking at is you're looking at, how would I say, you're looking at chemicals in both liquid, aerosol, and physical forms intermixing together explosively. So that means that the phenomena that we need to see in the drawing are going to be abstract because they're being accelerated away from a power center right here in that bright light there at a high rate of speed. Now, generally, you could do that with drawings, but in this particular piece here, what I'm actually doing is painting this. So watch this. I'm going to take this. Watch what I'm going to do here. Go here. Here, I'm going to take a bright light, right? White brush. See? So I'm now going over the top part here. And keep in mind, this line work that I was using, that was just a placeholder. See what I'm saying? Boom. See what's happening? Yeah, I like that. That's cool. Right? Now, watch this. I'm going to take a brighter light. Here, we're going to go here. See what's happening? So now that takes on a kind of a form of acceleration. Now I could do the same thing on another layer. Now I don't want to disrupt that, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that one there. That's on the same layer as here, right? But on this one, I'm actually going to do this. All right, hold on. Let me just move that over there a little bit because I have dead pixels. See what's happening? And this kind of line work, what it's doing is adding a sort of direction, right? I'm going to do one more here, right there. There we go. That's good. I don't need it to be perfect. Right there. See what's happening? Says everything is pointing inward. It's pointing inward, right? So we get that. Now I'm going to go here. I think I'm going to take a little bit of orange. Not too much. A little bit there. See? Yeah, like that. So these kind of sparks there, what's happening is when I'm using these sparks, it's adding a little bit of kind of energy to it, to the drawing. And I'll probably put some more in there, but for right now, actually, hold on, let's do this. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Oh, wow, look at that. See that? Look at that. Wow. And I'll take it back to white here. I'll add a little white here. There we go. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. Yep. All right, now I'm going to take my brush. Now I could blend this by using the blend channel here. And again, you know, guys, I know what I do is like, man, this guy, you know, he talks a lot. But part of what I'm doing is doing tutorials for folks who want to learn how to draw, want to know my process. Frankly, that's why I'm so pleased that Kenitra showed up today, is I'm also doing it, let me just say this about people like Kenitra and Susanna and Ronaldo Anderson and, Walter Grayson and John Jennings, Stacey Robinson. These people are not only they're not only makers, they are documenters of Afrofuturist or black speculative modalities in history. So I feel so grateful to those folks. So I think part of me doing this streaming here, I feel like I hope I am contributing to that lexicon, so they can say, oh, well, Tim Fielder did streaming where he showed how he did that, his work, and he actually produced the work, and it's documented, right? It's in a file form and so on and so forth. Let's do this here. All right, everyone see what's happening, how he's streaking that stuff out there. I'll put a little orange around that too to blend it there. All right, that's pretty good. Yep, I like that. Let's go back here a little bit. Now, watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna blend this. I'm gonna hit this with a little blur. See that blurred up there a little bit? Watch this. Let me turn this off. See how that blurred up there a little bit? So that blur makes a difference. Now, I'm gonna move this blur here. I'm gonna go to add glow. Watch what happens to the light streaks. See what happened there? See how that went? See how that went like that? Isn't that great? Hold on, is that the one? Whoops. All right, messed up. Okay, right there. See? So we go back to normal, watch what happens. See? So what happens with those channels, you can make things they actually give off a glow. It's a pretty powerful thing that's inherent in both Photoshop and Clip Studio Paint. Clip Studio Paint is great. Photoshop is great. I use both on a consistent basis. I love it. And there we go. All right, so it's 9:42 now. I intend to try my best to go till midnight because I will turn 59 at that time. I want to be able to see if I can hang tough to 59. Let's see. Diesel Funk Studios. Yeah. Kick is going strong. Facebook appears to be going strong. Very, very happy about that. Live stream is going. Thank you, Boris. Thank you, Kanitra, for chiming in tonight. Let's see here. All right, the Diesel Funk Dispatch channel is going along. I don't know how useful it is to have two YouTube channels, but I just tend to stream to them both. And of course, Instagram is still rocking. So, let's get back to this. Now, we're going to go back here to our drawing. Okay, I'm liking it. Let's zoom out here just a little bit. All right, now, so I feel good about what I have here to the left, bottom left. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend the stuff in the upper right, upper left, and moving to the middle parts of the right. Because some abstraction I want to leave. There are times when I look at the drawings, I'm like, man, you know, maybe I should paint over that. I should definitely paint over that. But then there are other times where I go like, nah, that abstraction is good. All you need to do is enhance what's there. It's the beauty of this thing. So again, it's like I use AI like an advanced flatter, right? In fact, you know, people say, well, you know, I could tell you what flatters are. Let me just do this. We're going to go here to Safari. And I'm going to go right here. We're going to go flatters. We're going to go comic book flatters. And this will be good. This will be good. So it says here, comic book flatter, also known as a color assistant or flattist, is a digital artist who prepares a comic's line work for the colorist, right? So solid color separation, color differentiation, facilitating the colorist, preventing gaps, right? So if I just go to the image section here, this is what flatters do. So take this image here that's from Hellboy, right? So you can see here, if I zoom in onto this, there's a black and white line artwork. Let's zoom into it. Black and white line artwork. Then the flatter does this. It actually separates those sections into colors. And from there, when you put them together, that's how you have it. Now, that's actually great. Sometimes it's very, very good to have flatters. I'll probably be using flatters on some projects that I'm working on. But that's what they tend to do, right? So flatters are important, hugely important part of the comic book industry. Look at this flatting process here. We'll just click here. Let's see if I can find that page. Here it is. We'll go right here. Yep. So you have black and white line artwork. And then you have here where a person flattens each region with a separate color. And then you put everything together. And then the colorist can change the colors. And that's basically what happens. That's how comics are digitally colored. It's a very cool process, very powerful. There are software programs that automate the process that I've been using before. One particularly called BPelt. I think I can go here. BPelt. Right? So it's called PeltMade here. So as you can see here, so what happens is it has two features, Flatten Pro and Multi-Fill. And I've used this, I use this on Maddie's Rocket for years. So you got line artwork. It does it so that the aliasing is gone. You apply multi-filler, so you see here there's no rhyme or reason where the colors are placed. And then here, you apply the filter, and then here, you actually change the color according to where you want it to be. That's a great process because it generally happens fairly automatic, and it's really, really great for doing flat color. But this process here, frankly, eliminates the need mostly for color flatters. But it really works better. The simpler your line artwork is, the better it works. The more complex the line work is, the trickier it gets. What VizCom is doing for me is VizCom is doing flatting as well, but it's adding volume and gradients and all that stuff. So now, like this right here, gives me a very, very good base to start from, all based on the color here that I did. Right? I hand flatted this myself, by quartering, masking off certain sections, placing certain colors in there, and I would go in and paint it myself. So it's following this. Now, sometimes it's taking major liberties, but it gets me within firing range. I don't want this to do all the work for me. What I wanted to do is get me within firing range so I can begin to paint myself. All right, back here now to this. So let's see if we can get this. At very least, I think what I want to do today is just get the background done. Okay, so we're going to go here. See those lines there? I want to get rid of those lines. I don't want those lines there. So now I'm going to stick with blend here. See? So with me doing this, what I'm doing now, see how it's following that stuff up there? That's what I want. Certain shapes, strong shapes I want to keep. I want to keep those strong shapes. There we go. Yep. See? All righty. So as I add that kind of photoreal abstraction, it gives me a great starting point. See what's happening here? And some of this stuff you can use, some of it you can toss away, some of it you can alter. It's like the beautiful mistakes that come inherent from the software making analysis of your line artwork can be quite powerful. So watch this. I'm going to take this. Watch what I do here. So I'm going to take that light right, because that flame, that explosion is really ripping this vehicle in half. That's what it's doing. Right? All right. Now that's pretty good. Now let's go in here. So we have a wheel there popped off. I kind of like that wheel. I'll just free it a little bit there. See? All right, now let's clean this section here off. Well, not clean. Let's fog it, smoke it up. Is what we're looking to do. So we're talking about the equivalent of an explosion here, right? Boom. All righty. So see how I can add those streaks there? Watch this. See how I'm adding those streaks that go through there? So that's selling the idea of explosive. See how that's popping there? See what's happening? It's selling explosion, that the explosion, the force is coming from a central element here. All right, watch this. All right, watch this. See? That's the beauty of this abstraction. Okay. Now, we go here. All right, so I want to thicken this brush up here so I can move a little bit faster. There we go. Whoops. Right there. Yes. Liking that a lot.
I got other work I need to be doing, but like I said, I've been going on a mission the last few months. I've made promises to people. Some people I've delivered work to, some people I haven't. Some goes back months, and I'm trying to, knowing that I will probably never, those people will never work with me again in the future, but I'm just trying to at least fulfill my obligations as late as it could be. So, I don't mind if someone hates my guts after that, but as long as I deliver some finished work, I can live with it. And it's okay not to be liked and loved by everyone, but it is not okay to never deliver anything. So that's what I'm trying to do. Forgiven or not. All right, go here. Let me check my chat here, see if anything else is rocking. Okay.
You have a good night as well, Kenitra. I love you dearly, homegirl. Actually, Mel's there now. She's there in New Orleans now, taking care of her mom. She'll be back in a few days. Love you. Sleep tight, dear. All righty, let's see. Let's go. How good, good. LinkedIn is good. Instagram is still good. Money Penny. Facebook is good. Kick is still kicking. Okay, great.
Now I'm going to go back here again, get some more friction in this part, right? Here's where it's going to get a little interesting. I'm going to move that over. So since this is going to be a little bit dark here, it's okay if the line artwork, like none of this stuff is going to be perfect, but it's all right because I can kind of use that. This is the side of the tank here. Yep. There we go. And there'll be some line work that I will alter on this. Yep, I'm liking it. Yep, that's great. Get rid of those hard edges in there, but I do like the streaks, the line streaks. And I'll put more debris in there as time goes on. All right, there, here, there we go. That's a building there at the top. I will probably have to draw, well, let's see here, that might work as a building there, down on the top there. Yep, kind of liking that line, gives the impression of structures. Yep, that's the turret of the tank. Yep, look at that. See how that's looking? All right, it's 9:55, almost 10 tonight. I do go later at night. Again, I'm still bouncing back and forth between whether or not I should do a morning session of this stuff. But what's been happening is I'll find myself working during the morning because, again, I believe artists, some people don't have to do this. I'm just speaking solely for myself, I guess. But, perhaps what I'm saying might be useful to some artists, as I believe that to operate in this world that we're now in, you're actually better served if you're showcasing what you're doing, the process, as you go along. Now, I'm sitting here talking about this is a new thing. It's really not. I was looking at this guy, I forget his name, White Manga. That dude has, 500,000 followers on Facebook or close to it. And he already seems to have a grasp on this. I don't know if, I probably am a late bloomer, but I know that I enjoy the learning process, even though it can be tedious at times. But it seems like this is the way to go. The old way is no longer the way. All right, so I like what I have here. I like the abstraction in it. I would call this mostly done in terms of the base ground here. Now, I could do one thing. I'm going to go right here. And I'm gonna take a red. It's gonna be a dark red, but this time I'm gonna go with an airbrush. Watch this. See? So that red adds a kind of a, well, maybe a little bit too much there. Let's pull back. Pull back a little bit. Yeah, maybe that red should be on a separate layer actually, in fact. Yep. There we go. Now, I'm going to go to multiply. There we go. See that? I like that. So that's a pretty extreme, like sort of thing happening there. So that's pretty good. All right, so I think I'm doing pretty good there. Now, I don't know who's going to see this, because there might be, one or two people looking at it right now. I don't know. But I would say if there are people involved in education, and they would like just for me to not necessarily present to their class, but just to work in the class so people could see me working live. That would be fun to do, so hit me up if that's something that you would like. Now, I don't know how appropriate this is to be drawing pictures of an explosion for middle graders, but there is something to it. Okay, so we're gonna go here. I'm liking what I have there. That's good. Now, I got this, see that tone there? I think that adds something. That's good. Now, I have a light there. That's good. I might put a little bit more here as I get to it. Now, so I like that. The next thing I'm gonna do here is I'm going to, yep, see what's happening? See what's happening here, guys? Here's my man. Right there. See what's happening? How that kind of fuses all together now? That is workable. I just need to see which one I can go with. That one is not, it's okay. That one, this one probably works best, I would say. And there's some things that are out of whack there, but I don't mind that stuff being out of whack. Right there is probably best. Right there is probably best. I will do one thing, however. I will duplicate this layer. Duplicate. I'm going to select the bottom part of his pants here because I want them to be more tan, like military uniform, right? With the kind of standard kind of khaki tan colors. So I'm gonna hit Command U, and I'm gonna make that saturation a little bit heavier, but I want to change the color, the hue here. Nope, should not be red. Should be more yellow. It's green there, blue. Nope, don't want that. Let's go back in the opposite direction here, right there. Nope. All right, let's go towards the middle. Purple. What we're trying to do is get it in a little bit of beige. There we go, right there. And take that saturation, maybe down a little bit more. Let's go here. Nope, don't want it to be green. Pop that, oh yeah, there we go. Right there is good. Now we'll hit that with OK. So you see what I'm saying? Because what we're trying to do is to match this with this here, with this character here. Right there, this guy, my man with that one. even though here his costume has changed somewhat. But I think it's pretty cool. Like that. That's what we're looking for. Okay? All right, let's go back here. Check here. Kickstarter. Kickstarter. All right, I think we're good here. Check on Instagram again. Hello, Instagram. How you guys doing tonight? All righty, back here. Now we will move back to the studio, baby. Yeah. Now, there comes a point, like, I downloaded all these different variations of what I wanted. And sometimes, once you do that, I like to get rid of it. So I don't want these two guys here. I don't want them there. Well, let me say this. I'm going to keep this one because it's the same thing. But I'm going to move this down below here. So I can just have it just in case the worst happens and I lose stuff. Right? I'm going to get rid of this one because I don't want it anymore. Meaning that now that I have made a decision of what I want to use, I can now begin the process of loading that stuff into the file, right? Loading the stuff into the file, loading everything into the, I want to work only with what I have and what I need. Like this layer here, that's pretty cool because I like the light on there, but watch how I do this. Let's see, we're gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna say bolts. And here will be smoke. I'm gonna say shadow. Gonna go blur edge. Okay, blur edge, bolts. This is our background. I'm gonna say BG. Okay, that's good. Now we wanna go to, now this here is interesting because what's happening here, this is another layer, as you can see here. There's something about the light on this I like. Now, I don't want to have to use this image. Well, this is me here. I don't want to have to use that image. But there's something about the light I like on that. So how about I take this, it's set to lighten, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to blur this. So I'm going to use the specularity in this image to add implied light here. So we're going to go here, we're going to go filter, we're going to go to blur. We're going to go to blur. We're going to enhance that blur. Just see how that, see what that does? So that's over this. See that light there? Right now it's set to lighten, but what happens if we go to add glow? See what happens now? How it enhances that, but now what if we bump it down? See what I'm saying? That's with it there. That's with it all the way, but what if we go say like that much? See how that adds that dynamism to it without losing the context of the image? That is pretty freaking awesome. I love that there. Okay, so I think we'll stick there. I'll leave that there for the moment. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create a folder here, and I'm gonna bump these 4 guys in here, and that will be, that's our character, right? And I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. But I want to duplicate this again, just in case I screw up. I'm going to move this underneath this folder here. And we're going to go here. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Hello, the People's DP. How you doing? Pleasure to see you. My name is Tim Fielder, visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist, working on an image for my friend Jason Reeves. I promised him this a while ago, and just utilizing my digital illustration process, and we're gonna see what happens. All right, let's go here. Now, you'll notice here there's a little cutoff line here.
But the one thing Clip Studio does well that Photoshop does not do so well is this allows me to erase over group selected images. So if I select all those images, watch what happens when I erase here. Oh, what's happening there? Hang on. What is happening? Okay, it should be erasing. Let's see here. We're going to go to eraser. We'll go to hard eraser, actually. Huh, that's weird. That is weird. So we'll go one at a time. All right. Oh, it's because each one had a line. Okay. All right. I got it. All right. So I'm having to go through each one here. I see. Okay. Now we'll go to this one. There we go. So you see how that line that was on the bottom end, that's now gone. Okay. So again, we're going to turn these on and off. So our line artwork is here. I wonder what happens if we turn the line artwork off, go with the flatting, and go with this on top of that. See, I still don't like that. But how about if this is set at the normal there? Oh, now that's interesting. But no, that's a little bit too far. Let's go back to having that there. But what I will do is bump down the opacity of this. Yeah, see what I'm saying? I don't want those lines to be as hard. Yeah, that's pretty good there. I kind of like that. All right, so we're good there. And that's our mask, of course, backing mask. Now, here's where things are gonna get interesting. I'm gonna take a moment to try to shift the pixels inherent in the AI output to more fit my drawing. This is just little stuff that I do to make my life easier. All right, so we're gonna go here. So now if I turn this off here, let's turn these off. As you can see here, all right, that's my mask, which is good. We have the line artwork here, which is great. We have the flatted color that sits on top of there. And then we have this. So you can look here. Let me turn this off here. See what's happening? His head is sunken more off in there. So the question is, can we take this guy's head that's here and move it more into place? So now I'm going to go here. I'm going to grab my warp tool here. See what's happening? See how I'm shifting these things around? This is eyes. And I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking for close enough. You see what's happening? So now it looks like it fits a heck of a lot better. Okay? Now, I'm going to go grab the whole thing here folder, and I'm going to get rid of some of the stuff here that's a little bit extreme, like that see that fist and that thumb? Right? That needs to be a little bit more ergonomic. And this is where having the ability to shift pixels around becomes absolutely essential. All righty. Right here, that's good. All right, I like that. Now, here is the moment of truth. This is where, again, I have this image. I love what I have. I think I got something that works well, but I don't want to use I want to use the AI as a tool. It's gotten me this far along with the painting and the enhancements that I have to do, but now I need to commit to doing the illustration, right? Fully doing the illustration. So here's where I'm now going to right click over this and I'm going to do a merge selected layer. So now this is all on one layer. See what's happening? It's all on one layer. That's it. There's nothing else I can do to it. I can add something on top of it. I can paint on that layer. I can add a layer on it, above it, but now I actually have to paint.
All right, so our light source is to the left here, right? So before I do anything, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my blend tool here. Let's just go here. And now is the goal where what I start to do now. See, I'm smoothing these things out. So those lines, those distortions are actually the ability to add shadows and cloth to your rendering. See how that red there is? That's a little bit too much, so now I can go in here with a pen. I can grab right off in there. See what's happening? So I'm actually able to add things there. That's what it does. Go here a little bit darker. Yep. Put a little shadow here. A little shadow here. See what's happening? It's giving me the ability to be able to do that. Now, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers, because we don't want 6 fingers there, right? But what I'm going to do here now is go here, kind of block that off, because why not? There we go. And do just like that. We'll go here, add a little shadow right here. There we go. So now we'll go back here with our blend tool, and we will paint. Okay? And again, a lot of the distortion, see his foot there is really sharp. That's sometimes people, I've done that before too, but I didn't really want it to look so extreme. So you can go here, so all the shadow here, see what's happening? And I can go through in there and add highlights if I want, however I want to do it. There we go. Alrighty then. Right there is good. So now I'm going to smooth a little bit more. See what I'm saying? What I'm doing here is smoothing these things out so they don't look so harsh. You still want to keep the intensity of some of the elements, but you want to remove some of it because you don't want the drawing to be overpowered by ink or pencil lines. And some of these things, this section here is going to absolutely have highlights on it. And you'll see what that is in just a moment. Okay. On here. All right, this is good. All right, now, here, watch this. Because the character here wears a kind of skin-tight leotard, at least in this particular iteration of the character. Here, there we go. So I like that musculature, that's pretty good. Because eventually highlights are going to be on this part here as well. So go here, take it easy. You see? There we go. There we go. I'm liking that. Look at that. Look at that lid there. That's pretty good. And again, abstraction is good for us. Abstraction is good for us. Okay, just look in here. Look in here. Uh-huh. I'm liking it. Liking it. All right, let's check here. Kick is going well. Facebook is still going well, but let me just check here right quick. Oh, wow. Go here. All right, we seem to be going well. Okay, good. All right, live streaming. Okay, we're good there. Fantastic. All right, YouTube's going well. LinkedIn is going well. And Instagram is going well. And thank you, the People's DP, for showing up today. Appreciate it. Okay, someone has left me a comment. Let's see here. Let's see if I can. On Instagram, let's see who this is here. Or someone has left me a like, it appears. So this is great. So you guys should see this right here. I try to release something every day in my social media processes. So for example, here would be, let's go to Instagram here. So on Instagram, of course, I'm doing my live show, I'm doing all that type of stuff. But today, let's go to my, you can see here it says I'm live, but I'm going to go here to my profile. And I do multiple different formats. I do a format with a long form video, which will generally range from between 8 to 15 minutes. In fact, I'm hoping to be able to finish this one either tonight. I'm doing a piece on Afrofuturism. So I got some images here that I have to do, and hopefully I can be done with that tonight or tomorrow morning, and I'll have that uploaded. Finding a good time to release stuff, not so. But either way, it's all legacy stuff that's there. Okay. Now, I do long form pieces that show a slice of life, how I work, what I'm doing with my life. And my life right now basically consists of working out. Primarily, my primary exercise right now is walking long distances. I'm up to 5 miles a day, 5 days a week. Even though on Saturday I walked across the entirety of Central Park, which will be in a future vlog as well. And so I do that, and there we go. So this here is one where I had, this is Susanna here.
Batch Positive Obsession, The Life and Times of Octavia E. Butler. Written by fellow Afrofuturist Susanna Morris. Susanna is an associate professor of literature, media, and communication at the Georgia Institute of Technology. That's Georgia Tech for you regular folks. This book covers the life and times of Octavia Butler, the pioneering science fiction and Afrofuturist author, who apparently, although trying to predict the future, seems to have predicted our present. Positive Obsession covers the life and story of Octavia Butler, published by Amistad Books, an imprint of HarperCollins. So proud of Susanna. Peace.
So definitely go out and get Susanna.
Greetings, Diesel Funketeer.
But today I
Chris
released this
Doe.
Chris Doe.
Greetings, Diesel Funketeers. Welcome to the newest episode of Diesel Funk Dispatch. Today's subject is Chris Doe, the founder of The Futur, the personal brand that is really prominent on social media, all over Instagram, YouTube, and so on and so forth. Chris started out his career as an Emmy Award-winning designer, director, and entrepreneur. As I've been on this journey of expanding my social media and personal brand, I've begun to do a deep dive on influencers out there. Chris Doe appears to be a man who knows what's going on. I listen to Doe quite a bit because he has a very, very interesting take on brand fusing with artistic presentation. I dig his stuff. Chris Doe. Peace.
All right.
Chris Doe.
It's fun to do that type of stuff. So I have the longer form works. I have the shorter form shorts, which are no more than a minute long. I have my live streaming that I'm doing right now. And then I have a fourth one, which will probably be daily, at least 5 days a week, daily affirmations. I find that affirmations are something that I probably needed to show myself. It's something that I think people would benefit from. Further, I'm doing it because my twin brother is doing affirmations. I love the work he's doing in social media now. I mean, we're all just starting, very few. Well, everybody has more followers and interaction than I do because my stuff is like just straight drawing and down in the dirt. Hey, this is how you're moving pixels across the page. And then my sister-in-law Darrell and my wife are both doing their thing. They just had that advantage. They're both babes and stuff, and people love to look at babes on social media. Me and my twin brother are kind of rough looking. We got the goatee, so we look like the devil. But all joking aside,
These people have all inspired me. I guess they were inspired by me doing my stuff, and then they did it, so now I'm inspired by them. So it's all a good thing. So those things, I'm going to work up a buffer before I start posting that. The only other thing I was debating about doing was I was debating about potentially starting up doing a weekly Maddie's Rocket. I feel like it's something that I probably should do, but we will see how it goes. All right, in the meantime, here we go. So we're moving through this here. We're back to this, because I want to try to see if it's possible to finish this up tonight, because I don't really want to be, I got other stuff I got to get to that people need work. I told them I was going to have it in, to get it in, but you know, there's so many people. That's the other thing I have to be very careful with as I take on these kind of projects, to not, I become fairly easily overwhelmed. But that's okay. I don't mean any harm by it, but I have to be aware of what's happening with myself when I'm doing it. Okay, so we go through here, smooth these guys up there. Yep, that's good. All right, here we go. So that abstraction there is good, because once I add the highlights in there, it'll really take things to the next level. Here, all right, well, let's see that. And we can get rid of, I mean, we'll add highlights off in here eventually. But for right now, I think we can stick to what we have here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm liking that. Now here's where this type of stuff, it's like the abstraction that you might want here, can work. See how that is? These are imperfections, they're mistakes, but it's like we can use those mistakes to get the effect that we want in our work. Thank you so much to people. I think it's important. Again, I'm going to say that I think it is important that I show how this work is done. The people's DP was showing us. I am terrified. I think someone's probably going to get highly upset over this, and I get why they're going to get upset, because this technology represents a significant disruption in the way people make their living, and it's something that's pretty frightening for a lot of folks. But let me show you something here, a clip that was sent to me a while ago that I think everybody should see tonight. Okay, let's go here. Nope, yes, nope, 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 nope. All right, hang on. Clip was sent to me. Hold on. Hold on. Where is it? Huh. That's weird. I sent it. Hang on. He said, where's that piece? That stuff I sent him. Okay, maybe I can't find it. That is so weird. I had this that I wanted to show you guys about animation and what's happening with animation. But I don't know, maybe I sent that to the wrong person. But just to let you guys know, I was looking at a clip where a woman who has a YouTube account was lamenting the fact that in Korea, a 6-man studio had produced 30 episodes, 2 minutes each, of a program, full animation, utilizing AI. And she was alarmed by it because it meant, oh my God, is their job in danger? And it's like, absolutely.
all of our jobs are at danger if that's our way. But frankly, let me just say this. I feel so weird saying it because why I have to do it because I can get blackballed by people. And okay, you're going to blackball me from what? What are you going to blackball me from? We must attack this technology and learn to integrate it into our toolkit. This technology is not taking your job. If you're not dependent on that job. If you are dependent upon a job that is no longer obsolete, that is now made obsolete, then yes, you will lose that job. But your ability to be an animator, I submit to you, is now more enhanced than ever in the history of animation. You now have the ability to take your animation skills, your concept and character design skills, and literally bring an element into life. You could do it. It's crazy. So I'm going to do this. Watch this. This is going to really be bad. I'm not going to even bother to finish this image right now. I'm just going to take this image. Watch this. I'm going to go here. I'm going to export this, and I'm just going to call this Paracon AI Anim. AI Anim. Test. Right? And I'm going to say that as a JPEG. And this is what I'm talking about. I don't even know what this is going to look like, but let's see what it looks like. All right, we're going to go here. I'm going to go back to this, to angle, right there. We're going to go to runway. I should still be in my runway account. I can go to dashboard here, and we're going to create a new image. I'm going to add media, One Nation, and we're going to add this image here. Right? We're going to generate video, and I'm going to select an asset here. I'm going to drag and drop this. I'm sure it's going to be a disaster, but you know, whatever. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to Paragon. All right, let's try to go back here. We'll see if we can find the One Nation folder I was working with. One Nation. Actually, we'll go here. One Nation. All right, there we go there. Now, I'm going to drag this to Bridge. All right, so here's the One Nation folder. This is the image here that I'm working with. Now, it's not even finished yet, but let's just go here. And I'm going to drag and drop this right off of here. Watch what happens. So now, this is the animation. Okay? So this is the image. Now, I want to generate video. So I can say here, let's go back to VizCom, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this. I'm going to copy the prompt from VizCom, and I'm going to go here to Runway. And I'm going to paste that in there. So I'm going to use that as a kind of a template prompt. I'll say leaping African American man wearing tattered American flag, Cape Ski, clenched. Okay. Runs from an explosion. Dynamic 3/4 high view explosive. Light comes from the left, photo real. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm sure it's going to be pretty awful. But let's take a look and see what happens. It's in the queue. I'm sure it's going to suck. It's going to suck donkey balls. All right? But this is what we can do. Let's see what happens. Right now it's at 0%, 10%. I paid for the full version of this thing.
I didn't want to, but you know, it's we have to attack this technology. We are the studios now. The whole idea of Pixar laying off 200 people, Microsoft laying off, people can say, oh, well, the technology is making people's jobs irrelevant. Yes, the technology is also making the studios and the companies themselves irrelevant. You are a studio. If you're an animator, you're effectively a studio because you know all the mechanical stuff that goes behind it. Now you have a tool which can automate so much of the laborious process. I remember having to paint on sails for animation. That's when I knew there's no way I'll do this. Because who wants to sit there and paint sails all day? But that was a job. Then when digital animation came along, that job went away. That is what's happening here now. That's what we have to begin to accept, that this is what's happening. Now, I don't know what's going to, this is probably going to be terrible. Oh. All right, all it did here was gave me a kind of a camera zoom. That was pretty awful. I'm not impressed with that at all. All right, here's what we're going to do here. That's Act 2. Oops. Which we're using Gen 4. There we go. Let's go Gen 4 Turbo. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to get rid of the prompt there. That was pretty awful. But let's take a look here and see what happens. And I don't know if it means I need to get rid of the written prompt. Okay, let's see here. What's happening? Someone has written me something. Huh? Oh, okay. Minimize that. Okay, YouTube is going well. Thank you so much, folks, who showed up tonight. We're at 75%. I'm sure it's going to look bad again, but let's take a look. I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, that's not doing it. All right, here's what we're going to do. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that away, and we're just going to generate one more time. Let's see what happens with this third render. That was pretty awful. I'm not impressed with that. It's at 10% now. That's so weird. It's like, you never know what you're going to get with this stuff, but, we're going to see what happens now. What I did was just remove the prompt. 75. I'm sure it's going to be pretty awful because the last two versions were just a truck in, but let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. I'm not impressed by that at all. Wow. That's not good. That is not good. Let's edit with a leaf. Okay, so we're good there. Man runs away from exploding military vehicles. All right, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's see. Generate. I have no idea what's going to happen here. But I'm not impressed with what I just saw. But I will go back to the other stuff that I saw that was, that I utilized my drawings to do. This is so weird, though. It's like, I'm not impressed with that at all. Okay, so that's rendering. It's at 16%. I'll leave it alone for right now. We will go back here
And let me just see why that's happening. I'll go through here and try to finish up the rendering here, because some of the stuff in the face and the arm, there's only so much you could do with it, and so much I want to do with it. I don't want to do that much with it because I don't want to lose again some of the abstraction here. All right, let's take this here. There we go. Okay, so now I'm smoothing these lines out here. See what I'm saying? When you smooth those lines out, what it is, they have the indication of wrinkles. And that's what we're looking to do. Looking to get rid of some of the harshness, but keep some of the harshness. Right? So we can go here. See what's happening? Right there. Get rid of some of those hard outlines there. Some of it we'll keep, some of it we'll get rid of. There we go. Okay, I'm liking that. All right, good. So we're good and great here. Okay, nice. All righty. These hands here, we're gonna have to put some highlights on those hands. There we go. All right, now here's where the moment of truth comes. Let's zoom in here. We're gonna add highlights on here as well. So I think be okay right there. All right, let's go here. I'm sure this is horrible. The fourth one here. Sure is horrible, like it always is. Oh man, and see what happened? It turned into a white guy. Doggone it. Come on, people. Look at that. That's terrible. Oh my God, look at that. That's terrible. All righty. So Runway has failed tonight, but that's okay. That was pretty bad. Pretty bad, man. Pretty bad. Let's go here. Let's see what happens if we go to another. Let's see if we go to another renderer. Right now we have Aleph, Act 2. We're not trying to drive performance or anything. It's Aleph, Gen 4. Let's go to the previous models here. Gen 4 Turbo. I'm sure this is, we'll try one more time. Okay. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. I don't mind that. Don't mind. Select the asset. It's going to be this asset here. I'm sure. All right, so that's rendering. I'm sure Runway has absolutely not come through in the pocket tonight. It's been pretty bad. All right, so now let's go here. Here's where we're gonna take these things here. Move the reds here. There we go. Smooth these out. Again, these lines here give implied detail. Be able to get rid of some of the pixels. I don't mind the abstraction. It's very Frazetta-esque. time is it? 10:41. Okay, I got about another hour left tonight. I know most people probably won't be staying with me tonight, but that's okay. I'm gonna be going till midnight, till I turn 59. That's what's happening here in just a little hour. So I'm gonna say part of my goal here tonight is to show is to work till my birthday happens. 2:46 p.m. Hold on, Chris Joe did reach out. I'm gonna say, Chris, thanks so much for liking my posts. It was a genuine pleasure to paint you. If you desire for me to send you a high-res still and / or the animation, just let me know and I'll get it right out to you. Cheers and love your work. Boom, done. Okay. All right. So, because this guy's face is kind of enshrouded a little bit in darkness and a little stuff here, I can now take it opportunities with implied light and shadow. That's the beauty of working like this. Go here. Okay, there we go. Now, see, now I'm going to smooth some of these harder pixels through. Smooth this stuff out. See what's happening? And because this is cloth, some of this stuff I'll just leave the way it is because I kind of like the kind of undulating effects that it's giving me. I can smooth it out though because I don't want it to be totally, I just want to get rid of some of the pixelization of it, right? See how I'm doing this? And kind of letting those, the software, which kind of, again, this is like using an advanced flatter situation here. So it's not just laying in the color, it's actually laying in the tones and, the elements and things like that. So all I have to do is just go in and just paint it. Take out what I don't like, keep what I do like. It's a very, very cool feature. There we go. See? Smooth these things out. Whoops, let me reduce that down in size there. There we go. Oh, nice. Nice. See what's happening here? I'm gonna add these kind of things in there. Boop, boop, bent, bent. Now, some of the stuff, watch this. See what I'm doing there? Now, watch this. Smooth here. Yeah, that's good. That's great. So I'm liking the way this stuff here looks. That's pretty good. I just want to get rid of some of the phenomena here. That's pretty good too. Kind of like the blue. It's good, gives you the illusion of something there happening. Kind of cool. See what's happening there? Look at that. Isn't that great? Look at that stuff. Wow. It's amazing. Amazing what this technology can do. And so once I hit this with highlights, it's going to really take it to the next level. Okay. All right. Now, go here, back part here. Make sure I just clean up a little bit of this stuff here off in there. Alrighty. Now, watch what I'm going to do here, guys. So the back part here has this kind of blue harsh line. So this is what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go here to the airbrush. I'm going to take a soft brush here. I'm going to go just like this. See what's happening? And I'm going to get rid of that blocking line on there. See that outline there? So I'm getting rid of that because I don't want that. Some of the stuff, dark edges are cool, but some of the lighter edges are not so cool. But I can go through that. See what that's doing? It's giving the impression of a kind of a cool, softer edge implies that it's cloth. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, liking that. And I'll be able to use a little light bloom on this to give myself an even better effect. Hold on. There we go. See? Brush off in there. And again, sometimes I use this technique. Sometimes I just use AI for reference. Sometimes I don't use any AI at all. I elect to be able to use it however I feel. Like there's a job I might be doing very soon. Well, I won't use any AI at all. I'll be toning someone else's work. I may be using it for reference, but I will not be I'll be painting straight or toning straight. So it's a pretty powerful tool, and you can elect to use it when you want. You have choice. That is a thing to keep in mind with this tech. All righty. There we go. That looks good. I like that. Wow, look at that. See how that? Move that hard line there. All right, I'm going to take this here. Watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go right there. I'm going to remove that. So what this does is enhances the idea. Whoops, a little bit too much. Right there. Okay, wow, look at that. That's great. Hello, Solar Ewilka. IKW La. Tonio, hey Tone, what's up, man? What's happening, brother? My brother. Oh! Hate it when that happens. Okay. So my microphone is smashed to the floor, but I think I might be back. Yes, the magic of live broadcast. All right, so that looks pretty good. I like that. Now, here's where it's going to get interesting. So I'm going to double click on this, right? And watch what I'm going to do. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try. So I'm going to go to a separate layer here. And here, I'm going to take like a dark red. But here, I'm going to do it with an airbrush here. Watch what happens here. I'm going to take that to multiply. There we go. See? See what's happening? Shadows that I can add in there. There we go. All righty. See? Very simple things that I can do. Add on there. All right. So we're good here. All right. I like that. Now let's go in here at the head area here. Here's where it's going to get kind of interesting. Yeah. Light there. Put another light there. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now I like that. I like that. That has energy. That has toughness to it. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go here on this layer. So we're going to take our sharp brush here. We're going to take the color picker tool. We're going to do it just like that. So now, watch what we're going to do. See what's happening? See what happens once that outline is there? Then we put a little bit on the bottom there, not too much. See what's happening? These lines? Wow, look at that. Wow, look at that. See how when you put that highlight on there, what that does? Now let's go back here to this one. See? Ha! That's crazy. Wow, look at that. There we go. Now this is going to be a little weird here. So let's try here. And this is where we're going to give a little bit more definition to the hand. I'm going to say the hand here is doing that. See? That hand is doing. And got a knuckle here. Right? It's doing that. Right? So we got that. Now, we're going to take another one here. Right? And in fact, one right here as well. Now that section down here below that is going to be a little weird, but that's okay. I can live with that. Go here. Go here. See? Alrighty. Alright, now here's where I'll go back to my original. I'm going to take this part here and I'm just going to add in a little bit more of that hand there. See what I'm saying? I can go here. So now I can take my highlight. Let's go back here. Go right here. Watch this. Because he has his kind of hand gloves on. Right there. And that's going to give me an indication, or give the reader indication of where his glove ends and where it begins. Right there. See? Do that. Now watch this. I'm going to take a little bit of light here. See? Because that light now is shining through that section right there. And we can tweak that off and do whatever we need to do with it. But see? That's what we're doing. Wow, look at that. See? So I'm going to go here on the side. I'll do this now. I'm going to go right off in there, just a little bit. See? not too much, but enough so you can have some indication that there is a hump in that area, right? So now you can go right here. Watch this. Take a bigger brush. There we go. Yep. All right, it's 10:57. I will turn 59 in approximately 1 hour and a few minutes. I'm going to add the remainder of the highlights in this section here. Then I'm going to take a brief bathroom break and I will be back. Just hang tough with me for 1 second here. 1 second here. There we go. I like that a lot. Yes, kind of like that. I kind of like that. There we go. See what's happening here? That looks all right. I'm liking that. I might tweak a thing here or two, but by and large, I like that. That is very, that has energy, that has power. Now we got that, but one of the things I'm gonna do is probably, should I go here? I don't know. Nah, I don't like that highlight on that side there. I think I'm gonna have to do that with a offset, a backing thing on there. That's pretty good. Not terrible. Yeah, it's all right. Let's see here. Check and see where I am. Good here. LinkedIn is going well. YouTube is going well. Thank you so much, YouTube. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Facebook. We're going to go here, back, and go to our feed. There we go. Bam. Now we'll go to our desktop for Facebook. Okay. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Let's go here. See what's happening? Waiting for some data to flow in. Kick is going well again. I'm liking this. Really love streaming, guys. I am somewhat shocked that I've gotten as much enjoyment out of it as I did not expect to get this much enjoyment out of this, but I have. All right. So I'm going to do one quick thing here. I think that will. So several people. No, that's from before there. Okay, we're good. All right, good. So let us now get back to this. Now, here's where shadow will come to play a bigger part of this, because again, I want this character to be silhouetted by this explosion. Because I'm a proponent in that all forms do not have to be explicitly defined. It can be offset by a shadow, right? And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a moment. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to, because I want the highlight to be there, but I don't want it to be so high to where it overpowers the figure. So go here. So now is where we go in, and I could go with a blend, but I think I'm gonna go with a blur this time, because there's something about a blur I think be kind of cool. Yeah, see what's happening here? See that blur? Yeah, like that. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. Yes. There we go. Yeah, like that. Nice. All right, let's take this here. Get the gloves there happening. Hands. There we go. Wow, look at that. Nice. That blur kind of lets shapes fade off a little bit. There we go. Yes. Yes. Now we go on the side here. See what I'm saying? So we still got to paint. We still got to draw. There is no escaping from painting and drawing. All you're doing is utilizing this software, this new tool. Hello, Quaylen Bradley. How you doing? Pleasure to show up tonight. So all you're doing is using this technology to expedite your completion of the process, because the objective is to be able to do good work and not be dead at the end of the process. That would be very helpful, don't you think? Now I'm going to go here. I'm just blurring this here. There we go. Right there. Oh, yeah. I have some projects that I'm going to be starting up relatively soon that I'll be doing gradually over time. Because this, you know, the new tools that are out there allow me to expedite my process and to move so much faster than I would have in the past. So why not use that technology to get projects out? It's like in the old way, basically what would happen is there's only so much I humanly could do. But I mean, I am 59, I'm not. Hello, Ariella Archer, how you doing? Pleasure to see you tonight. Let's see here. So the goal is to do the work and to get to those projects that under ordinary circumstances, I would literally have to say, well, okay, I just don't have enough time. I'm not humanly capable of finishing these particular projects because it's just too much work that would go into finishing the work. But now, with this technology, I actually have the ability to be able to say, you know, maybe I can get to those 12 projects that I would have had to have written off. You know, maybe it is possible to do that now. All right, now, this stuff on the head here is a little bit troublesome, so watch this. I'm going to go here and blend this out. I might actually, in fact, erase some of it. But for right now, I can go in and see how you add those shapes and those soft edges that really just kind of make stuff kind of go back a little bit. That's what I'm talking about. Let's try here. A little bit here. Just a little bit. Watch this. See? And I'll probably go in and erase some of this stuff here, because you might not need all of it. There we go. Look at that. Whoops. Some of it you want to keep, though. Yes. Yes. There we go. Still got to paint, people. Still got to paint. No escape from the paint. Just a reduction in the painting. And I have long since given up the old idea that you got to experience painting to be an artist, because it sucks. So I'm going to stick with this process here and use this tool for what it's good for, which is allowing me to expedite and speed up tremendously my process. That's what I'm going to do. And I would encourage you to do the same thing. Okay. Now, that's good. So here's the moment of truth. I'm going to duplicate this. And I'm going going to go to add glow. See how that pumped up that image just again? Now what we're going to do is decide where to erase. And for this, I'm going to turn off the selection tool. Right? Go here. Yes, just like that. See? That hard edge there? I'm going to get rid of this part here, right there. Yep. That's where, see, I don't want that to look like it's taking out his shoulder. Yeah, there we go. That's good. And we did all right here. Did all right. Did all right. Now, let's go here to soften that up because we don't need too much over there. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that. That is looking quite nice there. There we go. There. Okay. Whoops. Not too much. There we go. There we go. See? What's happening here? Liking that quite a bit. Boom. Alrighty. Like that. That is good stuff. That is good stuff. Now, let's go back to our reference here. Oh, that was horrible. Let's see what that looks like. I'm sure that was horrible too. Let's go all the way to the end here. That was terrible. Oh well, let's see what happened. I'm sure this is terrible too. Terrible, I'm sure. Probably just a zoom in. Yeah, what is that? That's terrible. Bad, bad, bad. Maybe I'll try it in clean eventually. All right. So we can go back here to Clip Studio Paint. All righty. I am liking that though. I am liking that quite a bit. That is pretty freaking awesome. But let me just go here just a smidgen. I'm just going to erase right off in there. See, you have that there. Yep. Just a little erasure. Little erasure. Good. Wow, look at that. Yep. I like that. Go here. There we go. That's good. All right, go here. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Go soft there. Great. Now, here's where I'm going to soft that. You know, I don't want to do that. I want to take a blur tool now. Take the blur tool. I just want to soften those edges just a little bit there. Yep. Now, here's where it's going to get interesting. I need to take shadow here. And I'm just going to go here. Now, if I go back to my reference, let's go Kickstarter here. So you can see his eyes are actually purple. That's not bad. So we're going to go right back here. All right, here's the moment where it's going to be kind of interesting. So I'm going to take purple here, right there. There we go. A bit too much here. Let's put that back there. Yep. Wow, look at that. You put those eyes there, and that turns out pretty good. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to go here with his teeth a little bit. This is just a suggestion of teeth right there. And then we're going to go with a bottom tooth here. Bottom row teeth. There we go. Yep. Now, watch this. Go here. Just a little bit of highlight. Here's what we're doing is just adding just a smidgen of highlight. Just a little specularity on the face here. Right there. Boom. Yep. See what's happening? Adding that to it just takes it to another level. Let's go right there. And there's going to be shadow on these hands here a little bit. So I'm not totally worried about that. All right, so I think that's pretty good, but now I want to go to white here. I'm going to go right here. Yes. Yes, I like that. Now, we need a backing color. And that backing color, I think, needs to be a dark orange right there. And that is going to be here. There we go. There we go. See what's happening there? And we can even go here in this side here. Alrighty. So, see what I'm doing here? Just add a little twinge of highlight there. But this will be a backing tone. One, two, three. Guess I'll do over here. All right. Yes. That's good. Let me go right here though. Let me put that right there. Okay, there we go. So now, I'm going to do here. All right, I'm liking the way that looks. So the next thing I'm going to do is just go through here with the blur tool. It's 11:15, 45 minutes from 59. This blur tool adds a little bit of elements. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm liking that. Boom. Liking the smoothness of it. You know, again, I'm not looking for ultra realism. I'm just looking for, you know, I'm a huge fan of Jim Steranko's work. So I believe in the pulp painting. You know, it's stylized but painted. I love that stuff. Okay, now right now the way I have it, it looks good, but it's sort of kind of muted. And muted is good, but let's see what happens if we move that to add glow. Oh, that's interesting. Let's go back here. Let's look at that. So it highlights up, lights up when you add that add glow to it. I think I'll keep that. I think I will. Yeah, that looks pretty good there. I like that. Let's do one thing here. Let's go here. Yep. Wow. Look at, hello, wrist scraps. How you doing? Look at that. Look at that. That's the only thing I got to do. I think the light underneath his left chest muscle is a bit much. So what I'm going to do here, as much as I'm afraid to do it, I'm going to do it because I think it has to be done. I'm going to erase very lightly off of that area. Let's see what happens. Yep. Ah, there we go. Nice. Nice. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth again. I'm going to go here. And I had a shadow layer here. Yep. But I'm going to add one more shadow layer right underneath here. And this one, I'm going to go here and I'm going to make that black. And I'm going to do some more stylized work here to the hand. Because what that's going to do, see, I kind of drops that hand off back there. There we go. See? Drop some of these things off here. Backs them off a little bit. And watch this. See? That do? That backs it off a little bit there. Yep. I'm liking it. Boom, bam, bam. See? More abstraction, but the shapes and the forms are brought out. Let's do a little bit on the face here. Just a little bit on the face. Not too, oh, maybe too much there. There we go. Just a little bit. Okay, great. Great. Great, Mom. Great. All right. That looks very, very good. Now, here's the trick. Here's the trick. I need to integrate him into the shot. So there are two different ways I'm going to do that. One way I'm going to do it is I'm going to grab this here. I'm going to double click there. So now that selection is there. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here and I'm going to paint right off in here, and I'm going to take like that kind of tone right there. Now I'm going to take an airbrush. Now right now he looks like a kind of a standout character. He really sticks out. But watch what I'm going to do here. See what that's doing? See how that's making him bounce? See what's happening? All right, watch this. Oops. Whoa. Sorry. Meant to. Yes. Yes. Look at this. See what happens? When you pop it with that, see how he falls, he kind of moves into, his leg is into the background a little bit. That's good. So now I'm going to go here. Make sure that arm is defined. Yes. Like that. That is nice. Now, watch what I'm going to do here. So we're good here, but watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take another layer here, and this time, I'm going to go with a textured pen. Watch what I do here. I'm just going to go right here. Oops. I want to go with lighter stuff here. But make that textured pen brighter. See, putting particulate here, and some of the particulate should cover him a little bit, right? Because it integrates him into the shot. And the thing I got to do is make sure I have the speed lines on this stuff here, so it looks like it's stuff flying out. See? Boom. See what's happening? Alrighty. So now what I'm doing, see, I'm doing these highlights are kind of, yeah, there we go. See? All right, there we go. See that? I actually put one right there. Yes. All right, so we got that. Now, let's blur all of this. But what we're going to do here, we're going to blur radial blur. There we go. I like that. Let's move that in a little bit. Yep, that's a too much. Right there looks good. That looks good. Now, I'm going to move that to a, oh wow, look at that. See what happens? You put that there. I mean, that's where it's at, Jack. Now I'm gonna do this last thing here. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna see here. I'm now gonna take an airbrush. And this airbrush, I got two levels of effects to add to it. See? Let's move here. Now I'm gonna obviously make some of this stuff. Let's go here to add glow. See? Now what we need to do is take that down a little bit. See? So if we remove it, it's like that, but if we move it up, there we go. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Gasolina. Now I even like the indentation of the tank there. That looks great. So I like that. This is when you're using the tools for what it's good for. That's what it's about. So here, initially, I was going to put in a backing color, but I don't think I need to do that. The only thing that's disturbing here is the hand, the left hand. The front hand is good, the back hand is too much. And this is why now I'm going to take, we're going to call this Blast Glow. We're going to call this Particles. We're going to call this one here Light Bloom. Here we're going to call that, all right, that's the side light. So we're going to go here, we're going to grab all the way to the bottom. Now, watch what happens now. So his hand here is too big. So here's where we're going to take this particular tool here, and we're now, watch this, I'm literally going to shape and model that. That's the beauty of working in digital and Clip Studio Paint, that you can take things that are actually out of whack proportionally and add proportion to it. So I'm making that hand smaller but more defined. This is what this stuff is. This is why people use this stuff. And look, I'm not like some of these artists. I see some of these folks that it's just like they were born doing this stuff out of the crib. It's just incredible what they do. But you know, here of course, I'm just showing how I use it. I'm gonna do one more thing here. We want to go here. We're gonna move the entire thing. Yes, down. But we don't want to lose the form and the shape. There we go. Right there, that's pretty good. See, that's much better. Much better. Much better. Okay, good. And I don't mind if it's a little bit abstract. I don't mind that. Now, there's only one other thing here I think this needs. Let's go to white. We're going to take a pen here. We're going to go to brush droplets. Watch this. Huh. Oh, wrong thing. All right, next one. There we go. See that droplets? It's a fantastic brush. Look at that. Right? Fantastic. Now we're going to hit that with a little add glow. Let's see what happens if we reduce that down a little bit. Right there. Looks good. Okay. There's only one thing left remaining to do. And we're going to add my signature, which I think will be a red this time. Generally, I try to have my signature be a little bit low key, but this time, why not? Make it a little bit more pronounced. Why not? Put a G pen here. Okay. Put that right there. All right, I think that's out of the way. All righty. I think I would call this image pretty much done. I mean, again, not perfect, but good enough. And there's Jason Reeves, 133 Art, One Nation, and I feel pretty good about it. It only took 2 years to get it done, man. So to go here, save, we're going to export, single layer here, we're going to call that Paragon Illustration. That's 100% JPEG. All right, and now we're going to go to time lapse, export time lapse. So you can see how the entire thing was drawn and put together. I'd love to have that happening there. Yeah, wow. So interesting to see this whole thing get put together like that. Look at that. So some of this stuff I did a while ago, but I always wanted to finish it up because I told him I would. And then when he started his Kickstarter a few weeks ago, I said, okay, I gotta get this done here. Gotta get it done, baby. Gotta get it done, man. Utilizing the drawing, 3D models, shifted and moved into the right place. Yeah, this is why I work in digital, because it gives me the ability to really, really be expansive, to add detail, add dramatic abstraction where necessary. I show this window into my process because I think it can be helpful for people. It's certainly helpful for me. You know, it's not just one, oh, I'm just sending this out to help the people. Some of the stuff, actually, believe it or not, is that this holds me, it keeps me accountable. Now, unfortunately, I got a lot of people I'm accountable to that. Well, it's not unfortunate. It's just that I got to finish. I got to finish, do what I say I'm going to do and finish, or make an approximation of doing what I say I'm going to do. It's really mostly just about finishing. Finishing is everything. And so when I get through this, sometimes I would like this image here I've worked on, I guess, over the last 5 days off and on. I had to do other stuff. But you know, some images I have to get down. Like there's a gentleman now who will be doing something in Atlanta later on this month that I must deliver something to him probably by tomorrow, so I can, you know, get some kind of sign off on it and finish the final work next week. But these are things that I just want to be able to do what I say I'm going to do, or some variant or approximation of that. That is what I'm trying to do. So yeah, I love painting. I love drawing. I don't love it that much. Let me be very, very clear. But I love more than anything using digital technology to create images. It's like my thought is, hey, what would happen if Jason's character was done in a movie? What would it look like? That's the way I approach these type of things, and that's what I've done here. And I'm very proud of it. Very, very proud of it. So that's it. So, and of course, there's more stuff to show, so hopefully they can use that for a Kickstarter. So on and so forth. I'll let that play all the way out so you guys can see. So those folks who saw the beginning process last week, and now you're seeing here the painting and the stuff and the elements, the 3D. See, this is only I use everything. I use straight illustration. I use 3D models. I use I use game engine technology when necessary. I haven't used that on this, but as I gotta renew my 3ds Max license because there's so much stuff that you guys need to see that I think is very important. Is it important to you? But it's certainly important to me. Let me just be very clear on that. So because I don't need to be trying to make it seem like what I'm doing is, people have so many different ways that they work. But as you can see here, so what's happening here is the time lapse, and it's just. Yeah, see that glow? Yeah, that just does it there. That's it. There you go. That's nice. Like that. Bam. Good. So you can go here, hit OK. Alrighty. I imagine Jason is probably asleep now. But there we go. So I use everything on my stuff. It's a combination of every tool in the book that I try to utilize to do my work. Okay, Paragon Animation. Oops. Okay, nope, it does not go in that section. That goes One Nation. There we go. All right, we're gonna say that image there is now done. I'm going to do one thing here while I have the chance. Have the chance, baby. So I'm going to take a quick break here because I've been going. I have not allowed my almost 59-year-old body to take a break, namely also known as a pee-pee. So let's let a little Ripley in. Be right back. Okay, so had to take a quick bathroom break here. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Another 21 minutes and counting for the end of my run here and be 59 years old. I just finished up Jason Reeves' image that I promised him years ago. And we have that done. I feel good about that. Nothing's perfect. Don't need it to be perfect. Just need it to be done. And I think I got something. At least I feel proud about it. Proud that my, technology has gotten to the point where I can make adjustments to these sort of things. Yeah, that was pretty fun to do. Okay, what is that? Oh, that's the animation test. We don't need that. Okay. All right, so this is the comment. So I feel good about this because I've laid out 39 pages of the comment here. And this is page 38. Okay, we're good there. So there's a process that one can use. This is 11:42. We're going to see what kind of damage we can do over the next, say, 10 minutes. I don't know if we can do any damage, but we will see. Let's see here. Let's see here. Go here. Let's check my chat here. I think we're good here. I don't know if we got anybody who's chimed in today. That's good. Got one person looking in. Thank you so much on Facebook. Whomever you are.
Thank you so much. YouTube, you're awesome tonight. Instagram, always awesome. Thank you so much for chiming in today. Now, and the good thing is as I finish one project, what do? Go directly to another. It's all great. I'm going to shut down Clip Studio Paint for now. We're going to go back to Photoshop. Now, there's a process where I can do breakdowns, right? Breakdowns are awesome, but there are times when before you move to breakdowns, you actually want to go to like really, really quick, fast thumbnails. Quick, fast. You're not concerned with drawing. You're not concerned with clarity for the outside viewer. You're concerned with clarity for yourself. And so I have about a little bit over double the amount of pages I've already done. That's what, 40, roughly 40 now. I need another 80 to get myself close, because this is the comment is a very short story. But so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go here. I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to grab a pen here. Oops. Make sure I make that brush bigger. There we go. Yep. Command A, backspace. Good. All right, now we're going to go real quick, fast. So I'm going to, let me shut that down there because we need more of this happening. Let's see, we're roughly around 2:30. 2:34. Okay. Dead restaurateurs. All right. He beat back up and seizing a tray from dead hands, hurried into the street and ate ravenously. Okay. So I think what I want to do now, so watch what I'm gonna do. Quick, fast. Boom. It's gonna be really quick, fast. One. All right. Oops. Why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? Come on, buddy. You know how to do this. You can go here. Hold down Command Option. Just duplicating real quick, fast. Quick, fast. Quick, fast, baby. Quick, fast. All right. I'm gonna do another one here. See, quick, fast. Quick, fast. Quick, fast, quick, fast. Whoops. Same thing. There we go. See? Now, that's 6 pages. Wait a minute here. Go right there. Do the same thing. Well, let's move this up. Right about there. And then we're going to hold down Command Option again, and we're going to duplicate that. See? So just that fast, we've got 3, 6, 9. We got 12 pages. All right. Hello, Oren Romaine. How you doing? Is this? You know, I'm probably older now, but this could not be the same Oren Romaine that is the son of Jean Romaine. Is that correct? From New Orleans? If so, then I may actually be related to you now, because I married a member of the Goudreau family out of New Orleans, and I think there's a branch of the Romaines that are related. Yes, I married a woman who's Creole, and so if this is the same Oren who was very small, who now appears to be dramatically larger than me and my twin brother, we actually might be distant cousins now. Hey, it's just the way it goes. All right, so we got this right here. So now what I'm going to do, watch how I'm going to do this. Now, when I talk, it is 11:47. So I'm going to try to see if, I don't know if I can. I probably can't. But I'm going to try to do rough thumbnails of these 12 pages. So we're going to try to get 12 pages in before I turn 59. Is it possible for me to do? Let's see. Okay. So we got a separate layer here, and we're going to
Let's go to F, F, F. Ah, crap. All right, no worries. Let's zoom in on this just a little bit, and then we're going to get to cranking. Oops, nope. Command D. Right there. Whoops. Right there. Okay, so we got everything in there. So this is going to be interesting to see if I can pull off. All right. Going here. All right. That was okay. Restaurant, dead customers. Okay, I had the shot in there. Let's go back here. All right, so I actually have that there. Now, what I'm going to do here. All right. I'm going to go here. Have him walking. I'm going to say eating. Right? All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this. So he's leaving the restaurant here, but he's going to be on screen left there. Right? Here, he's walking, holding a sandwich. Then he's eating it. Eating the sandwich. And his eyes kind of roll up in his head because he's eating, right? Right? Great. There we go. And now here, he's a little bit farther down. He's still eating. All right, so right there, this will be that section here, right? Yesterday they would not have served me as he forced the food down. It's 11:51. Exterior, Midtown. He started up the street, peering. So here's where we go to a wide shot. But this one will be overhead, like so. Because I haven't had really any of these right here happening. Bam. One right here. We see my man walking. This is going to be a full page spread here. Full page spread. Cars, overturned cars, dead bodies everywhere. My man is walking here. That'll be a full page, right? He started up the street looking, peering. Right? In fact, I'm going to, yep, I'm going to take this right here. We're running out of time, buddy. Let's see if we can get these 12 pages done. Go here, Command T. I'm going to drop that down just a little bit there. Yep, right there. Perfect. It's down Fifth Avenue. But on the top part here, two-page, two images. right, got that one? Okay. All right. Here is another shot I have not done. I have him walking by himself. And I want, actually, this is going to be interesting because I think what I want here is I want him a silhouette with no background. So that's hot, right? Nobody, he dared not think the thought and hurried on. Suddenly he stopped ahead, he forgot, my God. So I'm going to have him here. Let's go right there. I'm going to do oh, right. This is great. Watch this. So this will be a kind of a profile shot of him walking. All right. Here he's walking a little bit farther. All right, that's good. Then he stops. Then he covers his mouth because it suddenly hits him. Oh my God. OMG. Stops. Yep. Suddenly hits him that he's forgotten about something. Kind of runs off. Okay, so that'll be 6 panels. That'll be good. See how I'm able to take that one paragraph, was nobody, he dared not think and thought and hurried on. Suddenly he stopped still. He had forgotten. My God, could he have forgotten? See, that's great. So you can take those images there and turn those images, those lines into panels. 42, he must rush to the subway. Then he almost left. No car, if he could find it for. So here's where I have his back to the camera. 750, I don't know if I can do this. Here he goes here. He sees a subway. Dead bodies. A subway. Then we're going to go right here. Yes. Here we're going to have this be the interior down a stairwell to the subway. Same thing. Right there. Then we're going to do the same thing here. Right there. So here he is kind of running, thinking he's going to be coming down the subway. Right? And here, he suddenly stops. Then he recognizes, oh no, what am I doing? So he then runs off. Yes. Good. Run off. All right, we got 3 minutes before I turn 59. Then, see here, gently he lifted up and took his place on the seat. And here's where we find the car. And the car sitting here. Boom. Put a roadster. Car's right there. Actually, I don't like that shot there. This car needs to be kind of like this. Okay. Actually, I'm going to take this, move this to the middle section here. Yep. Go here. Here's looking like this. All right. Gets in the car. Here he is driving the car. Yep. Got the wheel. Gets into the car. And got the wheel here. There we go. Tire. 11:59. All right, so we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Right? And now what we're going to do is 3 panels. Go here, the road there, road there, road there. And we're going to have car here, then a car here, and then the car here speeding off. Okay. I am now 59 years old. I never thought I would have made it to 59, but apparently I did. So I'm going to say this last thing as we shut it down for the night. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Not everybody makes it to 59. Now, I'm saying here my audio is really, really low. Really? I don't know how that works. Oh, no. Then we get some feedback there saying my audio is really, really low. I don't know what that means. But at any rate, I am now 59 years of age, me and my twin brother, who were once known in the past as those bad twins, are now 59-year-old twins. This time next year, I will be in my 6th decade of life. And I'm grateful because I almost didn't make it to this point. I'm grateful for the life that I have lived. I have a ton of work in front of me, and I hope to be able to continue to do what I'm doing, to produce work that I'm proud of, to finish produced work, and to contribute to the world of cartooning and so on and so forth. It looks like Jason Reeves has now reached out to me. Cinematic, love it. Okay, good. I'm glad you like it, dude. He likes his piece. Fantastic. Okay. I just have to say to you guys that I am enormously grateful to be doing what I'm doing. Diesel Funk Dispatch has been a rush to do. I had to go through a bit of a harrowing sort of journey to get to this point. And it's nice to sort of be back up on the horse, but it's also nice to simply be. It's the happiest period of my life, probably, I would say. You know, but life is not without its struggles. There was a point where I remember when I turned 40, I felt like such a failure because I had not lived up to my potential. And I had 1 or 2 people suggest that I had not done that. But then and even though that made me angry and it pissed me off a little bit, I also knew that I had not lived up to my potential. But it was not about what they felt my potential was. It was about what I felt my potential was. But there was only one way to get to that. That was just finishing the work. It's the only way. It's the only way. There's no magic pill. There are tools that can expedite things. It can make you move faster, allow you to be more efficient. And that's not just in terms of producing art, taking care of your body. All of those different things are a huge, huge deal. But I would have to say, this is one of the things that is going on. And I'm so happy I've done this. But with that, love you guys tonight. Thank you so much. Happy 59th birthday to my twin brother. Love you, man. And thank you, everyone, for chiming in and putting up with me tonight. Bye.